Is turning this into a little bit of a skinny. It's almost perfect as is. So we haven't done one of these in a while, but I figured we'd kind of do a little Q&A session after my last video. And I asked you guys in the comments what you wanted me to answer, and these are the questions that you have asked me. Hopefully that made sense. Did that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. First questions I saw pop up a few times was, hey, are you not riding for Fox anymore? And so I think this brings up a good opportunity to talk about sponsorship for this year. So first of all, no, I am not riding for Fox anymore. I'm not riding for Smith either, so I just happen to have their helmets from before I rode for Fox, and I happen to like it a little bit more, so I'm riding in this one now. A lot of times your relationship with the company is actually your relationship with the marketing manager, and this fall they just got a new marketing or mountain bike director, and as a result, the communication between myself and the company was a little tricky, and unfortunately things fell through the cracks and we weren't able to come to any agreement this year. So no, I'm not riding for Fox, but I'm still riding for GT, which I'm stoked about, going on year 2 of them. They were a blast to ride for last year, and I'm excited to ride for them this year. Obviously right here I'm still on my Force, but I have 2 new bikes that came in that I'm building up as we speak. I'm taking my time. You may have caught a little bit of the live stream where I revealed one of my new bikes. So I'm excited to show you guys pretty soon what those bikes are gonna look like. But on that bike, I'll be riding Noble wheels. Noble is still jumping on board as a sponsor of the channel. They've been a huge support since the beginning of the channel, and they continue to be to this day. So I'm stoked to be working with them. And I'm also gonna be working with Onyx, which are the hubs that I've been running on those wheels. They have like the silent hub, instant engagement. Well, it's cool to be working with them in an official capacity, as opposed to just riding their stuff. So stoked for that. And then the last new one is Ergon. Now Ergon is a new one to me. I tested out some of their stuff over the fall, and I have been on some of their stuff over the course of the past few years. But this fall, I got to try out some of their new products, and I was pretty stoked with them. Their seats are super comfy. Haley has been riding an Ergon seat on her bike, completely unrelated to this sponsorship. And so I just felt like it was a good fit for the channel. So yeah, welcome to Ergon. The next question was about some of the new products that have been coming out on Pink Bike. A lot of people have been seeing people talk about the new Fox 38 forks, and they're wondering if I'm going to get a Fox 38. As you can see, I have a Fox 36 on this bike, and I have no intention on getting the Fox 38. That being said, some of the new internal technology on the Fox lineup is pretty interesting. They use like this VVC, which I'm not going to get into technical details, but it's a really cool concept. And if they do create an aftermarket damper that I can exchange with this one, I probably will go ahead and do that. That excites me a lot more than getting a whole new fork, though I think they've been crushing it on YouTube. Jordy has been putting out some really cool stuff. If you haven't been checking out their stuff, I would actually recommend watching it. It's pretty informative, and Jordy has a great personality, so it's fun to watch. Actually, before we jump into the next question, I just want to plug my merch really quickly. Back in the fall, I launched a new t-shirt, which I'm actually wearing right now. And I launched a launch edition exclusive to that time frame, and once that colorway was out, it was done. But this version is available in the store right now. You have this color and a gray one, and if you're on Patreon, there's a few Patreon exclusive colors and you get a discount. So now might be the time to jump on Patreon. But I've also got some stickers. Obviously this is a classic sticker pack that I've had for a while, and this is a brand new sticker pack that I haven't talked about, but it's in the store right now. I'll leave a link to both of these or all of these in the description below.
Rebutton.
My producer is telling me to button my shirt. Is it responsible to be riding trails given the pandemic? And that's actually a really good question. Obviously, with this situation, we need to be careful when we're out riding if we do ride. Now is not a great time to learn how to do a 10-foot drop to flat. Maybe like just practice some of the things that you're just okay at and get really good at them. So, you know, manuals, wheelies, those kinds of things where the consequences are less, giving your skill range. Obviously, if you're just starting out riding, maybe those aren't the best skills to learn either. But as far as being out on the trails, it depends. Here in Vermont, we're not supposed to travel more than 10 miles from home to exercise. So that means you can stay in your backyard, go to some of your local trails if they're open, as long as we're within 10 miles from home, that makes sense. So if you apply that logic to wherever you are, I live here in Vermont, I probably shouldn't be taking this as a vacation down to North Carolina to go ride DuPont or whatever. You know, that is not responsible. It's not responsible for me to go down to trails 2 hours away to ride them. Stay within your local municipality. If you do get out on the trail, be socially responsible, keep your social distance. If you do see somebody coming the other way, give them ample space when you're passing, like try to like breathe in the other direction or something. I've also heard things that when you're on the trail running and stuff, you don't want to just keep the 6-foot distance. Actually, when you're riding fast, you probably want to keep more of like a 30 to 40-foot distance. So I've heard, so, you know, listen to people who know what they're talking about, not me. Is, hey, where's your new bike? As you can see, I'm still on this bike, and I mentioned this, I'm taking my time building up my new bikes. Our trails aren't open, so I really don't have any great place to ride them. As excited as I am to have them built up and ride them, I want to ride them on a real trail, and right now I'm not doing that. We made the skinny that I'm sitting on, which will be fun to ride. A lot of people are wondering, hey, are you ditching 27.5 wheels now that your new bikes are 29ers? That bike is not going anywhere. It's still going to be part of the stable. I have personally never tried a 29er beyond just riding it around a little bit. So I'm excited to kind of get to try something new for once. I haven't tried a whole new product range in a very long time. So this is totally new to me, and I'm like a little kid again, probably. Someone was asking if I used to skateboard, and yes, I did used to skateboard. I was never very good, but growing up, skateboarding and BMX and rollerblading, they were kind of, if you hung out in a skate park, you kind of paid attention to what the other people were doing, whether they're on a skateboard or rollerblades, and a lot of times you tried one of the other sports, and I kind of did all three. I would go to the skate park with a skateboard, BMX bike, and rollerblades in a bag, and I'd switch out when I got bored of one. I always got frustrated with skateboarding because you land 1 out of every 10 tricks you try, and so I was better at mountain bike or BMXing at the time, so I just stuck with it. Now I've been trying to get back into skateboarding a little bit. Actually, one of the first things I want to do when I get a new house is actually build a mini ramp in the backyard. Now, I did allude to this on the live stream if you got a chance to see that. So some people were wondering if Haley and I got married, and we did. We officially got married. It was super low-key, unofficial. We didn't make a big deal about it. It was just the two of us and the officiant, is that the word? And it was beautiful. But it was like super low-key. We didn't post about it too much on social media. We told our parents after the fact, and they're super cool with it, but we're very lucky. I'm very fortunate to have her in my life. Some people were wondering of how I was staying busy over the winter. I wasn't posting a whole lot. Maybe you caught some of my snowboarding videos. Yeah, I took up snowboarding again. It was the first time I really got back into snowboarding after over 10 years, because the last year that I really snowboarded was in 2008, and I'd gone a handful of times between then and now, And then like this winter got seasons pass. I have some friends at Burton who were able to get me some good deals on some snowboards. So I just got super excited to get back into something that used to be a huge part of my life. When I was little, I was pretty dead set on going pro in either mountain biking or biking, that is, or pro in snowboarding. I was better at biking, so I went with biking, and now here we are. And it was a blast this winter, and got to explore some of the places where we do mountain bike, but on a snowboard. It was super cool, and Haley was having a blast getting back into skiing. She used to be a slalom ski racer. That was what she did growing up, so we both have a winter history, just we both kind of got out of it. And the other thing we were doing is we got into bouldering. That was a lot of fun. It's kind of a good change of pace where you can do it indoors in a gym. It's nice and warm, so it's fun progressing and failing, but slowly watching both of us throughout the course of the winter get better and better. And there's actually a few mountain bikers that we ran into who are in the same boat, and we all pretty much took up bouldering for the first time this winter, and it was fun just hanging out. It's kind of like when you session like a pump track or session a feature. Fortunately, it'd be a great time to do it right now, but obviously bouldering gyms are closed, so it's kind of a bummer we can't do that.
Scared just walking across this. Pretty high, you know?
Those are the main questions that we had for this episode. There's a few more, but those are the ones I felt like were a little bit more broader, a little bit more interesting. So those are the ones I answered. If you're looking for some things to do, I posted a video last week about 5 skills and drills you can do with very minimal equipment. These are some great skills and drills to do until we get the clear go ahead to go ride the trails. And believe me, I am chomping at the bit to get out and ride. Thanks for playing bikes with me today. I'll see you guys next time. Still don't like skinnies, but it goes. Alright,
Now from this side.
that's gonna be tricky.
Yeah, I agree. I think it will be. That was beautiful. Oh.